What's good? What's the deal, man? It's your boy Tree. Check this out, man. I've been wanting to do this, and I should have started doing this the day I got out and the day I got to this program. I've been wanting to do this thing where I kind of recorded like my progress through life, right? I wanted to call it, like Treehouse. I don't know if that was like gonna be like a vlog or some shit, or if I wanted to do something called 5 years from now, because I had this idea that when I was locked up, my goals, I had separated my main first goal when I first read Think and Grow Rich. It was this big, huge thing, and it was going to be this 5 year goal, right? And it was just going to be like this complete and utter life transformation. And because I knew that transformation isn't just one event, it was going to be steps. It was going to take time. So, I didn't go through the wishful thinking like, well, I'm gonna have this much money in like 20 days, or I'm gonna have this much money like the day I get out. I'm gonna have this much money. But I started to set aside goals like for 5 years, right? And then as I started to read more and more, and I started to do a little bit more like growth and searching of myself, I started to see that, like I was able to take that 5 year goal, that 5 year desire, that 5 year plan, and it was actually like reasonable, completely reasonable and doable, right? So I started to break it down into like a year goal, a 2 year thing, a 3 year thing, to where I didn't necessarily have like, oh, I had to reach this bar by then, but it was like things that I was going to be doing. And one of the things that I was going to be doing was like, when I get out, immediately when I get a phone, I'm going to start making videos and making content. I've been doing that. I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to continue pushing forward. One of the things that I was going to devote myself to school, and also devote myself to working while I was going to school. And I just keep telling myself this every single day, right? And I swear to God, I wish I had started recording this, I don't know, on a weekly basis, daily basis, every couple of days, whatever. But man, this place really put up barrier after barrier after barrier. And now, of course, they want to use me as like the poster child for their success rate. Like, they want to have me write perspective on myself, like where I came from, what I used to do, what I'm doing now. And you know what? That's when I realized this place didn't put up barriers. They didn't put up obstacles. They didn't put up challenges. They gave me opportunities to show that I was going to be as devoted to this shit as I told everybody that I was going to be. As devoted as I told myself I was going to be, right? Man, and and this is a mistake that it's not a mistake. This is a lesson I'm going to learn from. Every single day is a learning experience, not only for me, but for other people, because there are people who are going through the same type of situations that could have learned from what happened since October of 2023. Now it's February, and I'm enrolled in school. I'm doing really well. I just got hired for 2 jobs in places that I never thought I'd be able to work. Like, I know it's only work study, but like the places that they're having me work at and the things that they're having me do, it's just great. Like, I'm gonna be doing, content based around the Rising Scholars Program at Bearfield College, which is the program that helps and provides resources for formerly incarcerated people, which of course right up my alley, right? Like, I want to help myself and I want to help people in my situation. So boom, that's a perfect fit. But then also, because of my situation that I was having my residency, the counseling department helped me a lot. The dean of the counseling department helped me a lot with that. Jonathan Schultz, Dr. Schultz, he helped me out with that a lot at the counseling department. And I'm going to be working there too. Like, they saw my dedication. They saw how I went about things with my residency. So just to give you some background, let's just go into the background, man. I got out and I got to the program in October 26th. I got a phone 30 days later. I've been working out and all that other stuff, and you guys know all of that. Like, that was documented. As soon as I got the phone, I made my first video. But what happened after that is, I've been working on writing, I've been working on creating, and I was using this computer lab in here. And they was like, oh, what is he doing in the computer lab? And they're like, oh, he's working on I think he's working on a book. He's working on, this. He's writing stuff. He's writing articles or whatever the case. They didn't know exactly what I was in here writing, right? I mean, I was writing a book, but they didn't know what type of book. They, and their first response was, nah, we need to put a stop to that. And then I was like, okay. So, one of the counselors was like, we don't give a fuck about that. We're going to let you in because you're doing something positive. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I continued to come in here, and one of the things that I was doing, I was writing and all that stuff. I was creating and everything. But one of the things I was actually doing is I was coming in here and I was trying to enroll in school. So basically, like, I had to sneak in here to enroll in school. And because I had been telling myself every day I'm going to fully devote myself to working while I'm going to school. And, like, that was an opportunity for me to show not only myself, but, whoever's up there watching me, Yahweh, Yeshua, whatever the case, whoever's up there watching me, the energy, the universe, myself, the energies, the spirits, whatever. That was an opportunity for me to show whoever was watching me, whoever was keeping an eye on me, who was ever getting ready to open up them doors for them blessings to come, whether or not I was going to actually fully devote myself to working while I go to school. So I got into school. I was able to present them with my schedule. Okay, so now, boom, I gave them my schedule, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, no, you can use the computer lab whenever you want, which was still technically not the rules. I had to be going to school, but because they saw, okay, he's doing his shit, they let me in the computer lab. I'm working on my book. I'm working on my content. I'm working on, reading. I'm working on brushing up on school stuff because I haven't been to school in years. So I'm Googling, like, how do you do fucking basic arithmetic and shit, watching kids' YouTube videos to learn how to spell again or whatever. I mean, I'm doing my shit like that, doing my shit to get back into school. And then I get back into school. And I fucked up on the update form. It says, have you lived in California since this time? And another question was like, have you, in this time window, have you reported yourself out of state for taxes, right? So I'm like, no, I haven't reported myself out of state for taxes. I click no. I'm thinking the other question is like, well, have you lived out of state during that time? I click no, boom. I submit my shit, out of state tuition. Man, let me tell you something. I'm going to give you 4,500 reasons to do like shit like that, to take your time. Like, I'm a very intelligent dude. I'm very computer savvy and tech savvy. And I fucked up on something that simple. And I'm going to give you 4,500 reasons not to do it. It's called out-of-state tuition for California community colleges, right? That was something that looked like was not going to be able to be resolved. I'm in there every day. I'm talking to these people. I'm doing Zoom meetings with people with admissions and records. I'm in there every day. They just seeing my smiling face. It's, all raggedy just like this. No haircut, no lineup or nothing. But you know what? It was an opportunity. It was not a challenge. Because I'm in there every day. They're telling me, no, we can't do it. I'm in there every day. They're telling me, no, being incarcerated in California does not actually count as living in California. Okay, so I'm being in there. They're telling me, like, that whole time window, you were technically not living in California. So basically, like, while I'm locked up, I'm not a human being, right? My words, not theirs. Don't get on Bearfield College's helmet about the shit. They were following policy that they were told to follow, period. Not their fault, my fault. But it was an opportunity for me to show whoever's watching me, whoever's holding these blessings back, like getting ready, like, can I pour them out on you? Are you going to be the person who gives a fuck about other people like you said you was going to be? Because up until very recently, you were not. Up until very recently, you didn't give a fuck about nobody but yourself. And if somebody did something against you, or even if you fucked up, but somebody held you accountable behind your fuck up, you were terrible to people. You know, and it goes even with two of my cases. Like up until, like, I've done some stuff that weren't like good people's stuff. And I told myself I was going to devote myself to becoming a good person, not a better person. Like, an objectively or subjectively, whatever word it was, like not arbitrarily, like through general standards, like not just my homeboy saying you good dude, whatever, you good, or like, you know, females that I didn't have a bad breakup with saying like, no, he was a good dude. Like everybody being able to say like, no, he's a generally good person. Like he has his little quirks, his tics, whatever. Like I don't like the way his hairline looks on this side, but he's he's all right, he's boo. And it was an opportunity when these people were just like looking at me with that condescending smile, like, no, we can't help you. You're going to have to pay. Well, you know, maybe you're not going to be able to come to school. And like, and the counselor's telling me, well, not the counselors, but the counselor supervisor. I'm not going to say her name. Like, if you see her, you can get on her. Never mind. Don't do that. Never mind. Good person. I just said it. All right. No, but like, with her telling me, well, maybe you're just going to have to wait. Like, there's nothing we can help you with. We're not going to help you with this stuff. You messed up. You're just going to have to wait. You know, oh, well, you're getting out mid-semester? Well, I guess you're just going to have to wait. You can't get a job, though, because you said you were going to be doing school. So it was an opportunity for me to interact with people and to seek first to understand, then seek to be understood. You know, I'm talking to other students. Like, the people who are helping me, they're students. And they're people who, like, they applied for a work-study job, or they applied for a job, department funds job, or you know, they got their foot in the door with work-study, and they just kept working there because they're great workers, amazing people. Like, everybody I've actually interacted with, just because they were telling me no, it's because they were, you know, they're supposed to tell me, no, I fucked up. But they're amazing fucking people over there. Bearfield College, admissions and records, financial aid, counseling department, rising scholars, AB 540. They're like the most amazing fucking people you'll run across, period. But yeah, they were telling me no. And it was an opportunity for me to be persistent and assertive without being a jackass like before, without going in there and causing a scene and saying, you know what, fuck you, and I'm gonna do this, whoop, whoop, and you know what, fuck this, and fuck this program, take me back to prison, and you know, fuck positivity and all that other, you know, bullshit that I would have done before if I was just trying to fake it to make it or trying to play a role. Like, I'm really trying to work on this shit from the inside out. And it was an opportunity to do that. And now, after the residency thing happened, you know, I'm doing all these applications for work study. I'm not getting no calls back. And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, just being patient, just devoting myself to my schoolwork, just doing well in school. Like, I got all A's in all my classes right now. I'm doing well because I'm pushing it and I'm making sure that I do well. Like, I'm not leaving it up to anybody else's hands. I'm not leaving it up to my teacher. My teacher has no point but to give me an A if I do the work and I do it right and I do it well. I'm not leaving it up to them to where they can look at something and be like, I don't know if that's A work. No, I'm making sure that it's A work. I'm devoting myself fully. And because I've been doing that, man, I just got blessed. Like, all of a sudden, I'm just getting hit call after call after call. I got hit up like by the supervisor of schools, the Kern County supervisor of schools, or the superintendent of schools, or something, to go and do like activity leading and like program accountability at a middle school. Then they told me about, well, you know what? We would love it if you could go mess with the Kern Arts Council. So they forward my information over there. And then I'm just thinking like, man, like I remember putting up a little whatever on my story talking about, like don't question it when things go good, man, you work for this. And I'm just like, even still, I'm just like, I'm still questioning it. Like I don't deserve this shit. And then all of a sudden I get hit up by CityServe. Adult Education, Rural Initiatives Program. We want, come in for the interview. I get hit up by Counseling Department, come in for the interview. Rise of Scholars. We're not even going to do an interview with you. You're here every day. We know you. We know your work ethic and all that other shit. It's just formality. Once you get cleared with HR, you can come work for us. I get hit up by, what was the fourth offer? I had a fourth offer somewhere. A2 Mend. Leadership position. I'm getting hit up by all these people, like literally all at once. So now instead of that desert situation where it was looking like I wasn't even going to be able to like have any type of financial aid, or like I was going to have a bill at the end of the semester. I wasn't going to have a leg up. I was going to have a bill at the end of the semester to where I could possibly not be able to come in next semester. Because of this residency situation, like just because I was patient but assertive, perseverant, persistent, but still like patient, right? With people, still coming at people with that good positive energy and still coming at people like they're human beings, which is something that, unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of experience doing. I've been kind of a piece of shit. And you know what? The thing is like I've been noticing, being back in society, a lot of us are pieces of shit. We treat people like shit. And I'm sorry, it's unfortunate, man. And I just like, I don't get it. Like I'm the criminal. I'm the one who was selfish and out for self. I'm the one who was willing to make $1 by any means. I'm the one who was willing to didn't care who got hurt in the process. And I'm coming out and people's attitudes are more reflective of my old way of thinking. And these are civilians. But I'm not letting that be temptation to go back. I'm using that as ammunition for my motivation. That's what I'm using it for. So, I get I do the pros and cons, Rise of Scholars, Counseling Department, the passion about getting people involved with education and stuff is just boom. Like obviously the type of stuff I've been doing is geared towards that 100% on the free hour. I'll put that in the description because this is going to be on a separate channel. Separate channel, but same social media. I don't know how it's going to work. But look, yeah. And then so I take the offers. I go down to HR. I fill out the stuff. And they're telling me, it's going to be a few weeks. You're probably not going to be able to start working until like mid-March, whatever. And I'm like, damn, okay, well, I get out of here in mid-March, March 18th. And so I'm like, okay, well, you know what? It's bull. Like, I'm just going to devote myself to what I said I was going to devote myself to. Like, I had no timetable for when I was going to start working or having money. I just said I was going to fully devote myself to working while I attend school. I was going to fully devote myself to working on my book and getting a book published within 2 years of my release. And I was going to fully devote myself to making the weekly content that I've been making. So I'm just like, I'm not worried. I'm letting go, letting God. I'm just, I'm not going to put it out of my mind. I'm just devoting. I'm manifesting. I'm saying my affirmations. I'm doing my meditations. I'm doing all of this stuff, right? Put it out of my mind. I'm thinking, okay, I'll get ready to start work in March. It'll be cool. I'll take this time as an opportunity to, kind of work out my schedule and work out the kinks and stuff, right? No, no. You get none of that. You get none of that. I'm cleared by HR today. Today. I went and filled out the shit on Friday. Today is Monday. Man. And it's just like, the reason that I want to do this is not just so people can be like, oh, very good, you got a job, you're being an adult. No, I want to do it because I'm not a perfect person. And I want to be able to hold myself accountable to the things that I said I was going to do, to the person that I said I was going to be. And I want to be able to show that it is possible. I want to be able to show people step by step, week by week, or day by day, or whatever the case, that is possible. And then also, selfish reasons, I want to use you guys as like, a soundboard. I want to use you guys as to bounce ideas off of. I want to use you guys as a journal. I mean, it is what it is. It's selfish. Whatever, fuck it. If you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't, you don't. It's bull. It don't matter. But here's the thing. They told me that today. When I opened my bank account, told me about a money market account with a good percentage on it. I did that. I'm going to open up me a high yield savings. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start like funneling like small, trickling into, long-term investment strategies. Because I'm already older, so I need to get popping on that stuff. And, but the point is that obstacles came, the waves tried to break against the rock that was my devotion to what I said I was going to do, and they just broke. Yeah, they made a lot of noise. Yeah, they hit pretty hard. Yes, it looked like it was going to be some stuff, and there was a whole bunch of, and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, that rock that was my devotion to the things that I'm going to be doing weren't moved. It wasn't moved. And good things are happening. And here's the thing. This is what I want you to take away from it. If anybody watches this, I want you to take this away from it. If it can happen for me, it can happen for you. Because I do not deserve shit. I'm making things happen in my life. And there are a lot of people out there who do deserve better. Who do deserve blessings, who do deserve second chances, who do deserve first chances, who do deserve success. You deserve it. Now you just need to start making it happen. Because if somebody who don't deserve it, somebody who, if by all intents and purposes, I should still be in prison. I shouldn't have gotten the deal I got. I should still be in prison. I should not be able to work where I'm working. I should not be able to go to school where I'm going to school. I should not be able to have the interactions and the positive and people smiling at me the way they smile at me. I should not have that. And the people out there who should, imagine when you start actually making things happen from the inside out. Imagine when you start manifesting those things in your life. Imagine when you start going after the things that you deserve. Imagine when you start devoting yourself fully to everything that you want to do because you already deserve it. Imagine how much faster. Imagine how much better. Imagine how much more of a perfect condition it will come for you. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Imagine that, because this is coming from 20 minutes of blessing on blessing on blessing. From someone who doesn't deserve a fucking thing. But you do. I swear to God you do. So get up earlier in the morning. if that's when you need to take the time to implement something new into your life. Find that hour that you're watching a TV show or scrolling on your phone or whatever the case, and pick up something that is going to help you figure out. Everybody knows that manifesting is real. Everybody knows that affirmations are real by now. Like when I was younger, nobody knew that that was real. We kind of just thought like it was kind of actually like laughable. But the thing is, everybody now, especially this younger generation, this Gen Z and this Gen Alpha and shit, you guys know that this shit is real and y'all not using this shit the way you're supposed to. Devote yourself, man. Like take an hour. Everybody has a free hour. Take an hour to devote to sharpening the saw of some aspect of your life. And I pull the sharpening of the saw out of the 7 habits of highly effective people. You got physical, you got emotional, which is social also. You got mental, and you got spiritual. Take an hour, 4 days a week. And on one day, do physical. On one day, do emotional, social. On the next day, do mental. On the next day, do spiritual. Just take an hour. That means like 1 hour once a week. Get your ass up and start stretching. Until it becomes a habit. And then you can start to do it more often. And work out, do some burpees or something. Go run. And don't try to run an ultra fucking marathon at the beginning. Run it down the street and run back to the house. The point of the free hour is not to do shit that's overwhelming. When you're talking about mental, go watch a video, a summary of a book for 20 minutes instead of trying to read the whole book for an hour until it becomes a habit. And then now you have an hour that you're devoted to reading, and now you can add it more times during the week. Emotional and social. This is where you work on your interpersonal skills. This is where you work on talking to people. If you have social anxiety, this is where you tell yourself, and you don't have to set aside time for this. This is where you tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to smile today at like 5 different people and say hello. And then as soon as they walk around the corner or whatever, you can wipe the fucking sweat off your hands on your shorts or whatever. This is where if you're somebody who struggles to find positive interactions with people, you start to think about the way that you're going into these interactions in your mind. Are you expecting negative interactions? Because that's what you're going to get, period. And then spiritual, man. This is where you start to get some silence in your life. Get some silence in your life. This is where you meditate. This is where not just silence from the outside world. You need that too, but you need silence from this shit. You need silence from these running fucking thoughts, from that mind up here that you aren't even your mind. You aren't your ego. This is where you start to watch those thoughts and you be present with them. You realize that they're there. You notice them, you don't judge them, and you just let them pass, and you don't dwell on them, and you don't let them replay, and you don't let those scripts try to run in front of you and form in your mind that don't make no motherfucking sense. Like none of this shit most of the shit that you're afraid of ain't gonna kill you. Like unless you got ops and you're worried about running into old boy down at the gas station and he smoke you, I mean, that's a real worry. Yeah, I get it. I've had those fears before too. Like I've been in that life. But a lot of us now in this other type of life, in this civilian life, man, the fears that we got, the fears of rejection, the fears that we got, the fears of trying something new, the fears that we got, the fears of going broke if we switch to trying to do something else, the fears that we got of being ridiculed, the fears that we got of like being alone. That's when you quiet those fears and you spend silence with yourself. You spend silence with the universe. Get some silence in your life, man. And you know what? just because of that shit, I'm gonna put this on the same channel. This is free hour shit too. But it's gonna go on a little playlist. We're gonna call it fucking 5 years from now. 5 years from now. And I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this first one. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because this is going to be proof that this shit is true. This is going to be proof for other people who may be going through the type of situations I was going through, to where they can see that they can throw that old bullshit away and they can change and they can do something different. All right? Thank you so much for watching. It's been a free hour. It's your boy Tree. Holla at me, man.